Hello, my pretties. Welcome back to another episode of Boys and Ghouls Film Review. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson, and this is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
So, tonight we are going to review a movie called Jennifer's Body, which was released in 2009.
Exactly. This one is a comedy horror film written by some nice people and produced and directed by some other nice people and starring some other nice people. Anyway, here we go. Right. Produced by Daniel DeBecke. I think it's right pronunciation there. Mason Novik and Jason Reitman. Now, directed by Karen Kusama and written by Diablo Cody. There you go. Now, a cast of thousands, not, but there are a few. Here we go then. Our lead lady, who's really starts off sort of nice, but doesn't turn out to be too nice in the end. Megan Fox plays Jennifer. Check. Got it. Amanda Seyfried plays Anita Needy Lesnicki. That's her best friend at the beginning of the show. Adam Brody plays Nikolai Wolf. Johnny Simons plays Chip Dove. I'll do one or two more, and then I'll just leave it because a few more people aren't really that important. But now I will mention this one here. Chris Pratt plays Officer Roman Duda, D-U-D-A.
Yeah, of course he's...
That was before he got into Jurassic Park and
he
stuff.
sort of becomes a co-star, or not really a co-star.
He just played a police officer role.
He just only had one or two lines in this one, so that doesn't really make him...
And I'll just drop down to right at the end of the list. Because the name, I saw his face as Craigie shows up in the most weird plays, this guy. Lance Henriksen. He plays a driver of a car who picks up the girl
at the end of the movie.
He gets 1 or 2 words, and that's it. He drives her off, and that's it. But he shows up in the most weird places. He starred and co-starred. He's been in TV shows. He's been in films. He's done voiceovers for computer games. He does everything. This guy. He just shows up here, there, and everywhere. And occasionally, when you least expect it, there he is again. And here he is. Yeah, so, yeah, I like him. There's something about his personality, and there's a look on his face. He gets a bit of a smug look, or cheeky, naughty look sometimes, depending what the role is and stuff. And yeah, but he's a good actor. Yeah, anyway, now, getting back to a couple of things, which I like. Money. Now, I believe the box office, the budget was about 16 mil, box office was about 31, 32 mil. So they didn't take a bath on it. They made some money, and obviously home media would have helped a bit more as well. So,
of course, in box office, that sort of numbers in distributing on DVD or video or whatever will never be shown. Would ever be written.
They don't know what home media is. They can go by box office figures. Okay. Yeah, so they would have picked up a bit on home media. And, right. What else? Can't say anything else. Nice movie.
So you guys know, before we begin talking about it, I should mention this is more of a horror comedy.
It says
in that order.
No, it says a comedy horror, but we think it's more of a horror comedy. Yeah. I mean... The genre is really weird. I always thought that the first word, I was just talking to Sarah about this earlier, the first word of the genre would indicate the main theme, and the secondary theme would be the second word. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you had, say, a war movie and a drama, you wouldn't have a drama war movie. You'd have a war movie drama, or war movie action, or something or other. In this case here, when it comes to comedy horrors and horror comedies, they jump all over the place. It's really a horror movie with a bit of lightheartedness thrown in.
Yeah. Like Jojo Rabbit. That's technically a comedy.
That's a comedy
war
weird
movie.
crap. Yeah, it's comedy. But they got to get this. They got to get the descriptions right because people you're expecting. If you put horror first, you expect more horror than comedy. If you put comedy first, you expect more comedy. There's not a lot of comedy. There's some funny bits in it.
Funny,
obviously, tongue-in-cheek stuff and whatever, make it interesting. But it's to me, it's not that funny as a comedy. It's just some of the weird scenarios more so than anything else.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll start with the story, guys.
You take it away, Sarah.
So the story begins in a mental institute, and we get this girl named Anita, who is sort of telling the viewers, giving us a flashback to 2 months or 3 months ago.
Or whatever it was,
where she was in high school. Her best friend, Jennifer, is the popular girl, popular cheerleader type. You know what I mean? The one who's the big cheese in school, obviously.
Yeah, the cheerleader type. All the friends, all the boys want her because she's so damn hot and good looking and stuff. Yeah, well, those type,
Yeah. Then one night, Anita and her were going to go to a bar where a new a band, an indie band, is going to be performing there.
An indie band from the city.
Yes.
But no one actually ever heard of before. Yeah. But they said, this indie band's coming. And Jennifer had an idea that the lead guy was rather hot, so she wanted to catch up with him and do things maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty obviously Jennifer in this is a woman who likes to play the men a bit. Anyway, so the girls head out, and eventually as they're heading out, we meet the band. They're called Low Shoulder, I think it's called. And while Jennifer is getting drinks for both girls, Anita hears them talking about seeing Jennifer as a virgin, and they want a virgin. I don't know why, but at first. But it's pretty clear what happens later on, why they want a virgin. Yeah. But so anyway, the band starts playing music, and then we see, or Annette sees, a spark from a wiring, I think it was, that sets off the whole place on fire. And of course, she and Jennifer quickly escapes to the back to the toilet to escape the flames. And no, I don't think anyone else got out. Or
no, some people got out. Some people got set on fire and stuff.
And died.
But, Anita saved Jennifer.
Of course, Jennifer meets up with the band. The Low Shoulder wants to take her home, so they say. We don't think so. But Anita thinks maybe we should just walk home, go back, call a cab, or just naturally just go home and on our own. But Jennifer's not having it. She's looking forward to hanging out with the band, the leader of the band, and she's not. Well, she's not. She's pretty much intoxicated, if that's the term.
She was a bit under the weather. Too much alcohol.
Anyway. And so Jennifer gets to the van, and they head off, and Anita heads off home alone.
That's the last we see of her until next morning, isn't it?
Yeah, Anita heads back to her home.
Later that evening.
Yeah, and when she arrives there, it feels odd because she then starts hearing some noises downstairs, and then when she goes to the kitchen, she sees her friend Jennifer, covered in blood, and on her clothes and on her face and stuff like that. And she then goes to the fridge and she starts nibbling on some chicken there, obviously. But she then pukes black stuff from her mouth.
What?
And she then leaves her Anita's house, and we don't see her again until the next morning, where they announce to everyone that there was a fire at the bar. 9 or 10 people have gotten killed, as from the school.
A handful of people.
And of course, some of the kids who have been friends for a long time with those people are grieving over their dead friends and dead classmates and all that stuff. And of course, Low Shoulder is they come for a lame backstory where they just saved everyone or try to save everyone.
They told everyone they saved people in the fire, and they didn't really.
No, they didn't. They were pretty much useless.
It's just, hey, look at us, we're good guys. We're great for the media, good for the band. Yeah,
anyway, so eventually Jennifer comes to school looking like she's glowing. That's the term I can say. Glowing. Like she just got a serious, got a facelift or something like that.
Or
something
on drugs.
She looks beautiful and stuff. And of course, she then takes one of the boys into the woods. A football player, I think he was. She takes him into the woods for a bit of rumpty or whatever.
Well, he thinks it's going to be rumpty.
He thinks it's rumpty, but it's not. And eventually she...
disembowels him is the correct word.
That's a better word for it. Of course the body's discovered, and of course the police think this is... they blame it on a cannibal killer. That's the term they use. Cannibal killer.
Close enough.
Of course.
Works for me.
Of course, we as the weeks pass, we then notice Jennifer, after a couple of days of being glowing beautifully, her face starts to looking a bit like she's not, like she just didn't put on her makeup this morning.
Well, it's about a month later, actually. Yeah, so he said that the feed lasts for about a month.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's hungry for something, obviously. And eventually she picks a gothic boy and stuff like that. I should mention both this boy and, Amanda, they both starred in previously.
Anita.
Character I'm referring to. They both starred in Veronica Mars, the TV series. She played a nice girl named. She plays a nice girl who just appears in the series. I think her name was.
Whatever.
I can't remember it. So sorry, guys. I'm bad with names. I forgot the series, obviously. So anyway, she meets the gothic boy at an abandoned built house with the impression of taking him out to a Rocky Horror Picture Show. I thought the funny bit when he asked her out was that she said she doesn't like boxing movies. Oh man, the lines they come up with.
But she invites him to an abandoned house where he thought he was going to get a bit of what.
Of course, while she's getting meets up with him, Anita and her boyfriend are about to get their jiggles on.
Yeah, they did. Ooh, it looked very good.
And while this is happening, Anita's starting to sense something's wrong.
Like she got ESP or something or other. She starts to see and feel what the other girl's doing.
And seeing things that are not really there. Like she sees the dead body of the football player that Jennifer dragged to the woods, and other stuff, which is really weird. Of course, this is when she and her boyfriend are about to, go full on, obviously, and of course she freaks out, and the guy thinks, did I push you too hard or something like that, blah blah blah, the usual stuff. She then heads home, and eventually when she gets home she meets Jennifer there, and she gives her the full story of why this is happening, and she explains that during the fire, when she was taken by the low shoulder band, they took her to the woods.
I'll just pause here. This place is called Devil's Kettle or something or other in Minnesota, and I believe it's a real place. There's this waterfall, we gather.
With a whirlpool.
No, it's not a whirlpool. But the waterfall goes down, and the water in the bottom doesn't go anywhere because there's a hole in the ground.
Whirlpool.
It's anything is a whirlpool going down a drain, okay? It's not really a whirlpool. That's just the water going down the hole, and they don't know where it goes to, like a bottomless pit or somewhere underground river.
Yes.
And it's not a whirlpool.
Yes, it is. A whirlpool is a swirling water that's sort of what
Next time you look at the sink we let the bath out and see what the water does. It doesn't go straight down the hole, it goes around and around and around. Okay?
Yes, and this one just does that very thing.
That's not a whirlpool.
It is a whirlpool.
Okay. But anyway, the whirlpool normally takes you down somewhere where there's no rocks and stuff. This is going down a channel, like a hole in the ground. Okay. But anyway, irrespective, it's a real place, we believe. So, yeah, interesting. But and that's where they just... Or take it. You can carry on now. Yeah.
Anyway, so So Jennifer explains that these boys took her down to this waterfall with the express purpose of sacrificing her
to the devil.
And of course, she told them that she's a virgin, and which is ridiculous because
she lied.
And they tie her down, and they take out a knife and recite a few lines, and they even tell her that we're Satanists and we want to, sacrifice virgins so they can get rich, popular, and very wealthy through their music, stuff like that. Yeah, well,
actually, I've got some notes here. Says they're going to sacrifice her to Satan in exchange for fame and fortune.
Yes.
Although the sacrifice was a success, Jennifer was not actually a virgin, so she became permanently possessed
by a succubus.
By a demon or something like that. Don't say succubus because it's not really a succubus.
It is. It's mentioned 3 or 4 times in this movie.
They use it, but she's not really.
Yes, and it was mentioned in the book that Annette looks up. Look at the movie details.
I know, they made up as it went along.
Anyway, so the guys, they blundered. The lead singer when they were at the band said that women like Jennifer dressing like that are not seriously players. I don't know what women he's been associated with, but he's got the wrong end of it.
The ones that tease you, they look like they do, but they don't. You know the type.
Yeah, so if he went for Annette, he would have probably gotten what he bargained for. A virgin and possibly everything he wants. Of course, when he did this ritual, they still got what they wanted, obviously. However, this meant that Jennifer was possessed by this demon thing. And one thing that bothers me, Mike, I told you this last night when we were watching it, why doesn't she go after the band? Because they're like 4 members, they're all men, and why not go after them? Because they were the ones who cheated of her life by killing her, trying to kill her. But then again, maybe she's more happy that she's turned into some mortal being and doesn't see them as a threat. I don't know. So anyway, I should mention that they got what they wanted, because then we keep hearing about how this band is so great and everyone keeps talking about it in their small town. Even their famous song, Through the Trees, I think it's called, it's become their national anthem of their town.
Well, town anthem, it's not national anthem. Yeah.
Or national, well...
A local,
yeah. Anyway, so Jennifer needs to eat, males and entering their blood and eat them, so she can stay young and good looking and stuff like that. But Annette doesn't want anything to do with this, so she tells her to leave because I think that Jennifer doesn't want to harm her. But she also told her this, in my opinion, is so she can be an accomplice. Because also I think she won't be able to tell the police, because who would believe such made up stuff?
No, I do actually.
No one will believe it. Anyway, so later on, she's at the library looking up the details about this, the demon and the ritual that these men did. And according to the ritual, it says that if the human sacrifice is impure, no doubt the people will get what they want, but at the same time, a demon would possess the body, and it starts, creating havoc, obviously. Of course, she tells this to her boyfriend, but he thinks that Jennifer's naturally evil, like natural school bullies are evil, right?
Well, she was a bit of a...
she was a bit of a...
what do you call it?
A judgmental idiot.
No,
jerk.
She had an attitude like, I'm really great. Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, so...
I'm better than anybody else.
Yeah. He's more concerned about the prom. And I should mention again, Low Shoulder is coming on board to do the prom thing, blah, blah, blah. And they said they'll probably put some of the money towards the parents who just lost their children here and there.
Yeah, because they're making lots of money now because they've got record deals and stuff.
And in one classroom scene, Annette says, "What's the other half of the money going towards?" I can already know the answer to that, and Mike will probably give you the answer to Low Shoulders. money.
Are we talking about sex, drugs, and rock and roll? Oh, goody, my favourite.
Yeah. Of course, most of her classmates say, they're great. They just saved a bunch of kids at the bar. Woody-hoo, because I don't see any information about this anywhere except on fake news somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't even know who they saved because it's not mentioned, obviously. Who cares? Anyway, so and Ned realizes that this prom is just another ruse for Jennifer to find more willing males to devour and eat and turn young again, obviously.
Well, it's not turn young. It doesn't feed on a regular basis.
Yeah.
The body starts to deteriorate a little bit. Yeah. So when she gets to night, it's like Dracula. Yeah, the one of Gary Oldman in it. He looks old and horrible. He has a few feeds and becomes young again. That sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the game, and of course her boyfriend thinks that she should go see someone. Blah blah blah, stuff like that. For all this stuff, of course. She wants to not go to prom. She wants her boyfriend not to go because it's dangerous. He's a male, obviously, and he might be sucked in by Jennifer's, lustful attitude and not get what he bargained for. Anyway, so.
Yes.
Later on, she decides that they will go to prom, but together, and try to, stop Jennifer, along the way, obviously. She gets dressed. I got to admit, the dress and her hair in this scene is just so horrible. I can't. Anyway, so eventually her boyfriend tells his mum and sister he's going to meet Annette at the prom, obviously, instead of, drive her to prom or something like that. Maybe he didn't bother. Anyway, he then walks there and he runs into Jennifer, and she takes him into the woods, and she told him that a huge lie said that Annette was fooling around with the football player that died previously. Yeah. Indicating, sort of making out that Annette is the much troubled someone, obviously. Anyway, so soon enough, Annette arrives at prom, and everything's in full swing. And of course, the band Low Shoulder is there, and they're playing. And all the time, Annette is giving them the evil eye, or the twisted eye, in my opinion. Anyway, as she's waiting there, she's waiting for a boyfriend, and unfortunately, it's not there. So she heads back to his place, and of course, his mum says that he just left. And he's just headed across the park and all that stuff. So she quickly runs across to the park and she finds his corsage there, I think it was.
Yeah, whatever.
And she hears moaning and groaning, and it's coming from an abandoned swimming pool not far from there, obviously. So
I wonder where they get all these sights from. They're really good.
I don't know, but it's interesting. So she heads down there, and we see that he's being pressured by Jennifer to, kiss and cuddle and do whatever. Of course, he tries to push her off him, but she does not having this, so she throws him to the pool, and she starts attacking him and bites him into the neck area, or the neck area. And of course, Annette arrives, and she tries to push Jennifer away and tries to save her boyfriend. And of course, this doesn't work, and she starts hovering above them, and Of course, Anita tells her that you're killing boyfriends. Well, why my boyfriend in particular? And she says, well, does she give us the reason why she...
I don't think she did, actually. She said, it's just a case, hey, I was hungry.
Yes.
And is available.
Yes.
Well, you go to the fridge, you have stuff your head in there, so I'm going to eat. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Jennifer is about to make Anita her next to prey, I think it's the term. She says, I swing both ways, according to her, sort of thing. And it's implied because in one scene we do see her kissing her earlier.
Yeah, she got this mystical allure about her once she died.
Anyway, but luckily enough, the boyfriend steps in and stabs her using, I don't know what it was. I think it was either one of those pool...
it's cleaner thing, a long pole you put a little... brush on the end of it, or a net to get crap off it. Well, net. Well, the end bit of that, it's open metal like a tube, so you use it to ram it through. Look really good.
Yeah, of course, she gets in pain and she starts bleeding, and then she walks off, and Anita cradles her dying boyfriend.
And he snuffs it, and then she goes home.
Yeah, she heads home and realizes that she has a hard decision to do, because to save the rest of the school and anyone else in particular. So she gets dressed, she puts on her army boots and her hoodie and heads to Jennifer's house.
She got work to do.
Where she's actually planning her next meal by circling guys in her yearbook for a possible, as a menu, if you can call it that, or takeaway, in my opinion. Anyway, Anita arrives there and she plans on killing Jennifer. And of course, as they're fighting, she pulls off her friendship necklace.
Yeah, necklace with a little heart on, like Friends Forever sort of thing. Yeah, when I saw these.
And this causes her to... Well, actually, at first they were levitating, and then after she tore the heart necklace off her neck, she floats down. I think it was like the connection between...
I think it was symbolic, possibly, and also a connection between them. Not sure. Was it about killing her by stabbing her through the heart? Well, they also took the heart necklace off her as well.
Yeah. She takes this, the knife and then plunges into her chest, and she bleeds out and she slowly dies. And of course, her mother comes in. Jennifer's mother comes in and screams and cradles her dead body.
And she sees Anita there, and obviously
Anita goes trial and then goes to the mental institute
because I think she's crazy. Because obviously she said, "Well, she's possessed by a demon," and yada yada.
Yeah, I should mention this before, but Jennifer bit into Anita's shoulder.
Oh yeah, during their fight.
Yeah. And here she was in solitude confinement due to attacking a guard early in the beginning of the movie.
And other people.
And she then levitates to the surface of the cell, and she breaks out, and then she heads out of the institute and makes her way down the road. Obviously.
Now she's actually, when she's having a bit of a voiceover, she said she did mention about gaining some of the power from Jennifer, because Jennifer actually bit her, and there was a bit of power transference because of the blood.
Yeah.
Drawing or something like that. Yeah.
She then meets the man on the man who's driving a truck, and this is where this information that we mentioned earlier comes into play.
Yeah, that was Lance. Yeah.
Yes.
Lance Hendrickson. Yeah.
Yeah. He offers her a lift, and he remarks where she wants to go to, and she says, "I'm following this band. Could you give me a drive down to whatever?"
Wherever, and he had a bit of a smirk. Yeah, that's about as far. You have very, very small cameo.
Yeah, we then cut to a bit of a post-credit scene where where the credits are rolling over it, where we see the band totally are becoming very, very famous. In a sense, meaning they get to the most expensive hotels in New York, probably,
or
wherever they are at time, and they meet fans and stuff, and they head to
having a great time. They're drinking and eating and drugging and having a wonderful time in the motel room, like all the other bands do.
Yeah, they head to their room, and as they're getting the jollies on, they get this is where it starts off in his post credits as a more of a fan footage style, would you say?
A bit, a bit.
Where we see still pictures and some bit of flickering footage that doesn't look like it's moving around in a weird fashion.
I think it just make it go okay instead of standard. Nice effect. Yeah.
Anyway, someone goes into the room, and we get a bit of a flash, of blood, gore, and stuff like that.
People dead in bathtubs and on couches and stuff.
Then the scene changes to a sort of a crime scene footage stuff, where photos of yellow tags of the dead bodies,
exclusion
and
tape
items.
they use,
and we see the huge Bowie knife, I think it's the term.
Hunting knife.
That's plunged into the lead singer's chest. He's the guy who was the one who plunged.
Actually, I think it was the same knife that he used on the sacrifice
Yeah, because
when he killed Jennifer,
I
think
when he after the sacrifice, he threw it into the whirlpool, and it came out the other end. Obviously,
yeah, actually, the sign said they didn't know where it went to, but Anita was walking down the road there, and she found a bit of a creek, and there's things, some of the things that the signs have been throwing in there were in this creek, somewhere, some distance away from it. She saw this red ball, which had been throwing in to trace them, and they found the knife laying there, which is highly unlikely, but she found the knife there.
So, pretty much in the crime scene, we see that the knife is plunged into the lead singer. He's the one who did the sacrifice, the ritual. Yeah. Anyway, we then cross over to a CCTV where it takes place just before the crime was committed, because we see a bunch of girls running in the direction of where the special popular band is.
I got the impression that it happened just after, because she was walking down the corridor away from their room, and these fans were running up to the room, and they would have found all the dead bodies.
Who knows? I mean, maybe they were the ones who discovered the dead body.
Yeah, and then they called the police. Going, who do we call first, the police or the cleaners?
Good point. Yeah. Anyway, that's my opinion. And we watch Anita walking away
with a smirk on her face,
and the footage, the CCTV footage, starts flickering. I like to think Anita is probably making sure she's covering up her escape.
We like to think so.
Anyway, that's the end of the movie.
Fade to black.
Yeah, I know that's very detailed because I wanted to express how it's interesting.
It was a well done film. Mm-hmm. I can't say anything more about the production value. The storyline was good. Mm-hmm. The directorship was good. Everything was good. However.
There's a however. See, I always told you guys about how the howevers from this guy.
I'm a stickler for detail, and I've been arguing with Sarah that she couldn't have been a succubus.
I know.
No, they said they've implied that she was a succubus. Succubus doesn't go tearing people apart. They have sex with them as a female.
Yes.
Take the sperm, turn into an incubus, and then impregnate somebody.
I know.
They don't eat the people they're having sex with.
Yeah, I know, Mike, but
in the movie they've made it that way.
But in other movies, they continue to do the whole succubus thing where a demon comes along, is either possessing a woman or is in the woman disguised as a demon in disguise as a woman to trick the males into having sex and then eating them.
But that doesn't make them succubus. That's what I'm trying to say. They bent the rules a bit when they wrote the script.
Yeah, well, they wanted to come up with a name. They couldn't just call it the demon all the time because the demon is
most
boring.
demons will eat you.
True.
That's it. So, but they put the word succubus on there, which is not 100% true. But Sarah and I beg to differ on that one. The second bit was finding a knife in the creek somewhere away from it. It could not have floated there. It was not a fast-running stream, and metal knives do not float.
True.
So it couldn't have reached where she found the knife.
True.
Little thing, but it's just a stickler for detail. But the point is, still a good story, and it works well.
I thought it was pretty cool, especially the fact when Anita took her revenge. Unlike Jennifer, who was just preying on all the high schoolers. She was hungry. And instead of going after the band and possibly getting a full-course meal out of it, she could have... it could have worked out for her.
Remember that vampire movie we saw where that girl was actually killing criminals?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
That one? Now, she could have gone out there and cleaned up the area and all the bad guys, and everyone would have been really happy. But no, she picked on anybody. I don't care. I'll just eat you. Yeah,
well, considering the fact Jennifer's character and both this demon, even though I think the demon was much more probably playing on everyone's, trying to make out that I'm still Jennifer, but in reality, this demon was trying to trick everyone into thinking that she was still Jennifer. Taking on her personal mannerisms, her selfish attitude, and all the other things about her, of course. All the time you're watching this movie, you start questioning whether, is this really Jennifer or is this someone else in her body.
Now,
in other demon possession movies, something is up with the character.
It's like, so someone's taking possession, they're off. Now,
of course, in this one, Jennifer's body, no one was able to pick up on the fact that she was, a demon.
Now, having said one, I won't go in production too much. However, I believe, like I said earlier on, that this place where the waterfall was Devil's Kettle. And they said that was named the town. I don't know if the town is actually called Devil's Kettle.
Wouldn't that be funny?
But it's supposed to be in Minnesota, I believe, in some national park or something. So you local guys over there probably know more about it than me. But it looks really awesome.
It would be cool to actually make up a fictional town with a
Most of them
backstory.
are fictional towns, but this one here looks like it's a real town. Devil's Kettle is a real natural waterfall thingy-wingy. With a whirlpool at the bottom of it, if you want to call it a whirlpool. But the town may not be called Devil's Kettle. I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds pretty cool.
No, but I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know if it's called. The town may not be called that, but the waterfall is. Now, having said, let's get on to the reception. Despite Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic only giving the film about an average rating, just about everybody else liked it. Now, it's so Roger Ebert, he liked it. He gave it 3 out of 4 stars.
This guy is very hard to please.
Other guys gave it 3 out of 4 stars. So a guy from Rolling Stone, he loved it. Yeah, everyone loved it. So I got a funny feeling it gets back to the thing that it's a comedy horror, and maybe the guys who voted on it for Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic were hoping it was a comedy horror, but it was more of a horror comedy the other way around. And so I don't think the genre actually described the movie, and they're saying, well, it wasn't funny, so they didn't give it a good rating. So horror was the main thing in this movie.
It's just like when we reviewed Lizzie Frankenstein. That was more comedy than horror.
Yeah,
where this one is more horror than comedy. Yeah. This is where the balancing act between horror and comedy
describe it properly so people knew. Yeah, so people who might have enjoyed it missed out on it. And people who thought it was something else went to see it and didn't like it. So, but all the critics, apart from the Rolling Stones guys, they are the Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic, who are the people who just vote on it. They didn't particularly like it because of I think they thought it was something different.
Yeah, they probably expected it to be a total comedy, full through.
It wasn't Abbott and Costello stuff. No.
Never supposed to be. I mean. Well, I didn't. I thought it was pretty cool, especially the gore and stuff like that. Oh, speaking of the gore, you know who did special effects makeup? Greg Nicotero,
one of our heroes in the industry.
Yeah, he somehow got his head around and went ahead and did this movie.
Yeah. So he always pops up. Well, it was back in 2009, but he's been in the industry for an awful long time.
Yeah,
he did the Walking Dead as exec producer and probably part of the head of the makeup team for the zombie makeup. He always shows up when it's like creepy, crawly sort of guys need some bad makeup, and it's really bad. It's really good. Now, where do you get it?
Good question.
eBay. Yeah, it's for
plenty
sale.
more to sell. Blah blah.
Amazon, it's for rent and it's for sale. And being 2009, you don't need to worry about VHS or Laserdisc. Okay?
And of course, on YouTube, you can actually probably rent it or hire it or whatever.
Well, yeah. So, actually, I don't normally go through YouTube for the free stuff because the compression ratios and clarity is usually pretty bad. But I understand you can actually rent through some sites on YouTube. I haven't tried them, so that would be also a way to get it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't think of anything else to say, but I could go on different things. But
I'm only glad that Robert
Ebert.
I was able to give it a positive review.
Oh, yeah, 3 out of 4. He liked it, and I thought he doesn't normally like this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
but he liked it.
He tends to dislike anything.
No, he doesn't. The thing, if people are like, if you don't like horror movies, you're always going to grade horror movies down. But he likes one. But actually, getting back onto grading stuff, this girl, Megan Fox, who played the dead girl, whatever, she nailed it. Mm-hmm. She was damn good. She came over as a living creature at the beginning of it, as a nice flag twirling cheerleader type girl or whatever she was, and she was typical you just see in these movies. And then the transition from the nice little girl into the demon was handled so well. She was so sexy. She was so sexy when she was teasing the guys. The whole lot worked. She's a fine actress.
Yeah. I did think it was funny that the guys in the low shoulder band, they thought naturally she must be a virgin.
A dress like that's got to be a virgin because it's all show and no go sort of thing. But and a friend Anita, she's a virgin. Don't hurt her. But they wanted the virgin to sacrifice her. So whoops, she just said no. She's a town bike and she would have been alive.
But
Anita would have been dead probably.
Who knows, maybe. I think that Anita could have been, even though she had sex much later in the movie.
Later in the movie, And that could have been her first
and her boyfriend was already they were already together, her and her boyfriend and stuff like that. It's pretty obvious.
So that might have been her first time. We don't know, see. So that didn't come out in the movie. So.
It's never implied.
But irrespectively, it's a good movie. Lead girls, I'll say both of them did pretty good. And it was a good story. So it's well worth a watch. I'm going to give it about a 9.
Oh, I should mention, guys, there was another death in this one where Jennifer kills an exchange student. I think
that's only a bastard. He's walking down the street and dragged her off in the woods when she's coming back from being woken up from the dead.
Of course, they thought this boy was also gobbled up by the fire.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I gave it a 9. What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a higher one because I think the horror and the comedy balance it out really well.
Not enough comedy in it to take away from the scary bits.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what I like. Yeah.
So I'm going to rate it 10 out of 10. Ooh. That's how high my high opinion of it.
How about 11 out of 10? No, can't do that.
Well, I can if it's higher, obviously.
No, 10 out of 10. Not see, we don't normally do 9s and 10s, but when it's an exceptionally good movie,
if it's exceptional, I would give it a higher rating. Obviously,
it is higher. But anyway, but those little couple of things I stickler for details a bit, but everything good. Filming is great, acting is great. The story is good. I like it. Yeah.
I always think it's interesting when it takes place in a small town. Not everyone knows about it, and then something happens which kind of causes the town to go into a massive uproar and stuff like that, and then things start turning on its head.
Yeah. Actually, I want to do I recently done a short. Myself to under 10 minutes. And I want to do another movie towards the end of the year, which is going to be maybe 45 minutes. But I'd like to have a little country town, like, Andy Griffith's show of Mayberry, little country town, farming community sort of thing. I would love to have access to a town like that to stage it. It's going to be a suspense horror suspense, whatever. Supernatural horror, sorry. And it's going to be really, really good. But, I just got to find the right location. I don't want it to be a bustling area, or going to be a place I can make to look like it's small. Or if I can't do it that way, I have to do a small fishing village somewhere. I've got a few of those around here. But they keep redeveloping everything.
Yeah.
And they're all gone. Oh, damn it. Yeah.
It's so difficult when you want to make a period-type film.
Yeah.
And you have... most houses keep getting more
they
and more.
They bulldoze them and they put new buildings there.
Newer and stuff. Yeah. And then you're left with lots of new buildings and no
character, and all the ghosts have moved out.
Yeah. I guess there are a few places that you can film in, but you have to seriously look.
Yeah, it's hard to find something, and then you go further afield, and then you get if you get on a limited budget, you got to get all my actors up there and the crew, and we've got to find accommodation for them as well as food. Plus this, we might have to pay them a few dollars, blah blah, and then the cost goes up. Yeah, your budget blows out. So anyway, I'll tell you more about that later in the year.
Yeah. So that's our thoughts about this movie, guys. So I know that we can discuss it more about it, but I feel like
it's good.
It's everything we want in a movie. So I'm kind of happy with it as it is.
I like it. No.
And I wouldn't change a thing about it, despite what Mike says.
No, I didn't say anything. I just said they inappropriately use the word succubus, that's all. But it sounds good.
Well,
okay.
It makes a little sense. Well, in a filmmaker's mind, it makes sense. I mean, not in history or fantasy stories that will tell you about a succubus and its backstory and how it works. Anyway, I wonder though, does Anita, does she turn into a succubus, or did she just happen to have powers?
Anita's alive, but she's received some power from the demon who bit her.
Yeah, I suppose it makes sense.
So she's a human being with demonic powers, maybe tamed down a little bit, but she's got some power,
Yeah, and a human appetite, I think.
Well, she's normal apart from that.
Yeah, aside from her be able to levitate and possibly be able to kill in the fastest,
and walk through barbed wire, through chain fences, just leave a big hole which you walk through. Yeah. That's a pretty good trick. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. So anyway, that's Jennifer's Body, and now it's up to you guys to actually go out and watch it.
I mean, being a reasonably. Not a reasonably new movie, but say it's
done in 2009,
16 years ago. Some of you probably already seen it, probably on TV, reruns, whatever. But those of you who haven't, it's worth a look.
Yeah, it's worth it. So anyway, you know where to find it. So that's about it from us guys tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We will probably be reviewing another sort of movie that deals with women killing men, obviously, next time on this channel.
Oh yeah, just in passing, they're the director and the writer of these feminists say there's a feminist feeling to the movie.
Feminist power to it.
So girl power type stuff. So those of you who got a bit of problem with that, well, that's your problem. I'm just warning you before you watch it.
Yeah, well, as long as you have a bit of male chemistry,
I think it was balanced, even though they're trying to get the girl power thing happening. So, but it's not like you don't like when they did the Ghostbusters lady one. You didn't like it because, oh look, the girl lady's doing it. Well, sorry, but
it's just not funny.
It wasn't funny, but you didn't like it because you thought Bill Murray and the other guys. And then these girls come along and did the movie, and it wasn't a bad movie, but you didn't like because females took over the roles.
It feels so lame.
I know.
It's like Bill Atkins.
Bill
Murray and Dan
Aykroyd
and the other guys. They did a bad job at making comedy.
But they're funny. They're really good guys.
But when it comes to the other side of the coin, they make the women look like idiots.
Yeah, possibly. Anyway, do you want to kill it now?
But it's probably just the fact that they just try to put too much comedy and make it look like a fantasy world we don't live in anymore.
I just want to mention it in passing comparison. Anyway. We're not going to do it.
Okay, sorry guys.
Yeah,
anyway, so you guys know about Jennifer, so that means go out and watch it. And so that's it from us tonight for this podcast, everyone. So this is Sarah Stephenson.
And Michael.
Saying see you guys around on Boys and Ghouls Film Review. Bye for now, and we'll see you guys next time on our channel. Bye.
Yay. Bye.